Hey everyone, and thank you all so much for tuning in to Talk About Real, where we have real conversations about a real God. My name is Bianca, and I am so glad that you're here today. Hi everyone, and thank you guys so much for tuning in to Talk About Real. I am so excited about today's episode. You guys are going to have the opportunity to meet Janet Harllee. Janet is a fellow podcaster. She's a broadcaster. She's an author. She's a storyteller and a speaker. And we are just so honored to have her here today. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce her. Hi, Janet.
Hi, Bianca. Oh, it's an honor to be on your podcast.
It
Yes.
is such an honor to have you. You and I met through the wonderful Lauren from
Yes.
Godly. Yep, and she said
Yes.
I was on your show, and so here you are on Talk About Real, and it's just such an
Yeah.
honor
Yeah.
to meet you.
Isn't
So
Lauren wonderful? She is just one of the sweetest people I know, and bless her, she's just doing great. She's doing great.
she's great. She's a godsend, and I just have to plug her show. If you guys have
Yes.
not
Me
seen
too.
it, you have
Yeah.
to
Absolutely.
watch her show. It is amazing. She has
It
people
is.
come on from all over the world and share their testimonies. So she's encouraged me so much. So yeah,
Me too.
I'm so glad that we've met. We've had the opportunity to chat since meeting. But
Yes,
I'm
and
just
she linked us.
yes, absolutely. She's linked me to so many people.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to know the Lord?
Well, first of all, let me say, Bianca, that it's such an honor to be on your podcast. I have watched you, and you are wonderful as well, and you're just doing great, and you're such a blessing and encouragement. So, thank you for
Oh, thank
asking me.
you. And likewise, same to you. All of the above.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So, about a little bit about me. Um, I retired about 4 years ago, and I was working for a nonprofit organization. I've worked in corporate and nonprofit world in my professional career, and I studied theater and
Wow.
have done some community theaters. I've done some summer stock as well, and had the opportunity of working in television and also radio. So
Wow.
God has opened a lot of doors for me to be able to use gifts that He has given me. So
Amen.
He is so good and faithful,
Yes,
so good
yes.
and faithful. And when I retired, I asked the Lord, okay, what do you want me to do now? Because
Mhm.
God's work never ends,
Amen.
never ends.
Yes.
So he laid the broadcast, video podcast of Faith in an Ever Changing World, Encouragement and Hope on my heart. And of course, we're living in an ever changing world.
Yes, we
So
are.
I
We are.
started out interviewing people about their faith stories
Wow.
and how faith has impacted their lives. And
Right.
of course, we all have faith stories. It could be our testimonies, our own
Mm,
stories, things that
mm.
have happened to us in our
Yeah.
life, maybe how we've been brought up.
Yeah.
So people began sharing their faith stories. And
Wow.
then I got to meet some of the faith-based actors and actresses through the internet, through Facebook, and
Mhm.
so got uh, to know some of them and started interviewing some of them. And
Wow.
it just sort of led into, beginning to be more of that.
Yeah.
Directors, producers, filmmakers, and of course, that is a part of my life that I am interested in.
Yes.
So God has certainly opened up those doors so that I could be able to get to know them and the wonderful work that they
Yeah.
are doing
Yes.
in the faith-based industry. and in family entertainment as well. And of course, we need more and more and more of that in a
Yes.
time such as this. You agree?
Oh, I agree 100%. Absolutely. So, did
Mm-hmm.
you know as a young child that you wanted to get into theater and you wanted to be part of this world, this acting and all of that showbiz
I
entertainment?
did. I
Oh,
did. I've always wanted to be an actress. And I can remember me and my sister and some neighborhood kids, we put together a skit and we
oh,
invited our parents to come. And it was in our basement. And we put up this quilt, hung the quilt with uh, pins, on the
yeah,
clothespins to the
yeah,
lines that we had in the basement to hang up clothes. And so we had that quilt, and that was our curtain.
yeah.
So we just had a ball. And of course, our
Oh,
parents were thrilled and all of that. And I think my neighbor even took some video footage of that. And
oh,
so
wow.
they still have it, I think. But it was just a lot of fun. And so when I got to high school, became interested in participating in the school plays. And I remember getting a book, How to Get to Hollywood. And I read that book, I don't know how many times. And so I even remember some one of my friends wanted to be my manager. So we we just had this whole thing planned out. But like when I went graduated from high school then and went to college, I majored in theater and English. And
Wow.
so got to have an opportunity to do some summer stock through all of
Mhm.
that. And it was just amazing. It was amazing. And so got to know some people and made some good friends through that. And so then went after graduating from college, of course, life happens. And the school I went to actually offered me a position, a job. And so I did that for a few years. And then just went from there, and so everything, all the jobs that I have had in my professional life have been in public relations or in communications. So all of it, so my theater has helped me so much. And I keep thanking my drama professor, uh,
Yeah.
just thanking him for all that he taught us,
Mhm.
because learning theater, you learn you learn poise, you learn
Right.
stage presence,
Mhm.
you learn confidence in yourself, and you need all these things in whatever
Right.
you do in life.
Yes.
So it has certainly helped me in everything I've ever done in my professional career. So, and I feel like that maybe, as I mentioned to you in the green room,
Yeah.
that maybe God is calling me back into some part of this theater and so forth. I um, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the Lord has for me next.
That is incredible. That's so amazing that you said that since you were just a child that you just this is something that you loved. Yeah, and God
Yes,
is so good too. He doesn't forget that, and I think that He plants that inside of us.
I
Each
think
of
so too.
yeah, we all have a
Hmm.
calling and a gift, and I think He plants that in us, and
Yes.
it's just part of who we are and
Yeah.
who we were
Yeah.
created to be. That is so exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I had three uncles who were ministers.
Wow.
In
Really?
my family. So yeah, and it was just wonderful. We had a very close family. And but at the age of 9, actually, I was in a, a theater watching in my hometown, watching. The King of Kings, the movie, The King of Kings.
Okay.
And that's when I felt convicted by the
Mhm.
Lord. And so I just wanted to dedicate my life to Him and, of course, accept Jesus as my Savior. And
Yes.
so,
I love
yeah.
it. Of
And so
course.
that was just, but for me sitting in a theater watching a movie, it just was kind of a little ironic for that. So,
Right?
yeah, yeah. So, but anyway, that sort of sums me up a little bit. And of course, I turned a year older recently.
Oh,
And when you're in the fourth quarter, you look at things a little bit in a different perspective. Uh,
mhm,
there is an urgency uh,
mhm,
feeling, and so you want to finish well. And
mhm.
so, but I am able, I am still able, and the Lord has just blessed me in so many ways. And a good husband,
Oh,
family, loving family. And so, God is good. And
yes.
I can see, look back and see, and I can see now the goodness of God, the
Amen.
goodness of
Wow.
God.
That is that is so powerful. And
Mm.
now looking back at your life, has there been a time in your life that God called you to do something and that you went ahead and you did exactly what God had, you were obedient and you did what God called you to do?
Yes. I remember the first thing that comes to my mind is a time when my dad passed away with COPD.
Mm. Oh
But
no.
at that time, he was getting more sick. And so I just, and Robert and I lived out of town, and
Mhm.
I felt the urgency that I
Mhm.
needed to get back home
Ooh,
to help my
wow.
mother and to
Okay.
help take care of my dad.
Mhm.
So um, Robert and I talked about it, and of course we were willing to do that. And I said, and I prayed, and I said, Lord, in order for us to move, I need a job, and we need a place to live. So, and my husband retired early, uh, so it happened. He provided a place for us to live, and he provided a place for me to work. And so those were the two things that we needed, in order to make the move. So that's what we did, and we have been here ever since in my hometown.
Well, oh my
We have not
goodness.
left because
That's
after my dad passed away, then we had my mom, and so she was doing well, and then and when she got into her 90s,
mhm.
that's when we noticed a difference, a change.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so she had Alzheimer's. So as her dementia and all increased, and we moved in with her, to
Oh.
help take care of her for a while. Um, but I can also see uh, God's goodness in that while I was helping with my dad, I was working with hospice. And
Mhm.
so hospice was able to come in and help toward the end with him. And
Oh,
then when my mom needed a place, I was working at an assisted living, memory care,
wow.
and assisted living. So I was doing the admissions and marketing for them.
Wow.
So I was able to have her with me,
Wow.
and yeah, because she moved into our memory care. So see how
Oh.
God works. God just provides for our needs. And the other time that comes to my mind is about 4 years ago when I retired, and
Yeah.
God called me to do the podcast, Faith in an Ever Changing World. So, um, and I'm still doing it. It'll be 4 years in September that I'll be.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That is
And
incredible.
so it's on other platforms. It's on Abundant TV Network, and
Wow.
I want to give a shout out to them because they are absolutely wonderful, and
Oh,
it's a great network for you and your family. So
yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
I love how God is just, he's moving and he's working in this entertainment industry. And there's so many awesome options now for Christian families as far as different networks that we can
absolutely.
watch and incredible
Hmm.
content like your show,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it's
thank
just
you.
God is so good to do that. Can you tell us a little bit more about your show and just what you feature and all of that and what you've
Okay.
experienced?
We'll be glad to. Thank you. Um, Faith in an ever changing world, encouragement and hope. I want to be an encourager. And give people hope in these days and times, and so it's every Tuesday on
Mhm.
Facebook and YouTube,
Mhm.
and then it's on Abundant TV. But it's every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time
Yes.
on Facebook and YouTube. And
Wonderful.
then after that, they can be able to see it on Abundant TV, and they're on a multiple platforms as well. So, and I'm branching out from that. So there are just lots of ways that you'll be able to see it. And but I have authors on as well, and because there are people who write books, either about experiences in their life, or
Yeah.
they write books for teaching, and
Yeah.
so certainly want to include them as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
More encouragement, you know?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, yes.
Oh, so how has podcasting changed your life?
Wow. Well, it keeps me busy,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
not, hey, a show that appears
Yeah.
every week.
Right. Exactly.
It's yeah, and hopefully I'll be able to have it on a little more often, have more guests, and maybe do some topical, having some topics discussed and things like that in the future. So that's where I'd like for it to continue to grow. But yeah, certainly keeps me busy, and coordinating,
Yeah.
scheduling, of course, and being able to schedule ahead enough that you can. Um, and I pre-record
Yeah.
the shows now. I used to go live, but I've learned that it's just easier for me,
Yeah.
and in my situation, to be able to record
Hmm.
the shows and then schedule them to
Yeah.
air, and
Yeah.
they look live uh, as they're on. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's a constant, and of course, you want to do your promos uh,
Hmm.
for the guests.
Yeah.
And so you're actively doing that,
Yeah.
and if things happen and you need to reschedule and these kinds of things, um, of course you're able to do that too. So
Yeah.
it's a full-time job, actually.
It really is. I was telling my husband the other day, it's a full-time job,
It is.
which I love. I absolutely love it.
Oh
I was
yes,
telling but
yes. I love doing it, and so many brothers and sisters I have now from all
yeah.
over.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
meet these incredible people and then you want them as part of your life and you want to meet with them or see them in person or hang out
yeah.
with them all the time, but they've got
Uh-huh.
their lives and so it's kind of like, oh, we're talk online, but it's awesome
Absolutely,
how God
absolutely.
does that. And I love just that we're all kind of this community and we're all doing it together and
We
we're
are.
all There's no
Yeah.
competition or anything like that. It's just
Yeah.
when you think about the bigger picture of all
Yeah.
of these people from all around the world just coming together and just giving glory to the Lord, it's such an
Oh,
awesome,
yeah.
it's, just evidence that God is
Absolutely. Yes.
working. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And giving glory to the Lord is what we want to do. Uh,
Amen.
Without Him, we can't do anything.
Amen.
So
Amen.
He has to work in and through us.
Yes.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. And this is a process too. Podcasting is a process of him working through us. We're reaching others and giving
Oh,
others their,
yes.
their platform and the ability to share their God
Yes.
stories. And he's also touching our
Yes.
hearts while we listen to their stories. I'm always,
Yeah.
every time I hear someone's story, even listening to your story, it spoke to me. It's so many different things that you
Oh,
mentioned today. Yeah.
good.
You may not have realized it, but I knew I needed to hear that today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How
So,
would
and
you
you always want, I'm sorry, you always want to be able to hope that your listeners or watchers, viewers, will be able to relate to your guest or to something you may say. So
Yeah.
that's, yeah, you want to be
And
able to do
God
that.
does that. I feel like
Mhm.
that God just he makes a way.
He
He
does.
always finds a way
He
to bring
does.
everything together and yeah,
He is
bless
our
people.
waymaker.
Yes. And it's all about him. This is his show, so it's meant to bring him glory. So of
Yes,
course
it
everything
is.
that comes out of it is going to be to glorify the Lord. So and that's what I
Absolutely.
always pray before every episode. Lord, I just want to glorify you and
Me
let
too.
your will be done. And
Yes.
takes a
Yes.
lot of pressure off of me as the host, but every time guests come on, they bring the story, they bring the everything, that comes from the Lord. But it's just I usually just have to listen and be blessed. So it's
Yes.
awesome. I love it so
Yes.
much.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. And we learn from each other.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so that's amazing too. I
Yes,
love
it's
it.
so amazing. Everybody has a different way of doing things, and so then
Mhm.
you get to kind of bounce ideas off of each other and
Yes.
learn from each other.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's such a fun thing. And I would encourage. How would you encourage somebody who knows that God has called them to do something, but maybe they're scared, maybe they don't know what step to take, they don't know how to go about it. How would you encourage them?
Mm. If you feel God calling you to do something, pray about it. Talk to
Mhm.
him about it.
Yes.
Let him know. I mean, if you have some fears about it, let him know what those
Yeah.
fears are. But don't let fear
Yeah.
stand in your way.
Right.
Don't let it keep you from
Mhm.
doing what he's calling you to do. Because if you feel that strongly that he's calling you to do something, you just take that first step.
Mhm.
Step
Mhm.
out,
Yes.
and he is right there with you,
Yes.
and he will help you with all the other steps.
Right.
When you think about Noah,
Mhm.
he didn't know anything about building a boat,
Right.
but
Right.
God had told him he needed to build this ark. The
Right.
rains were coming, the
Mhm.
flood was coming,
Right.
and people made fun of him, and I'm sure they would laugh and, uh, what in the world is this man doing? And but he was steadfast in his
Mhm.
faith.
Yes.
He knew he was that close to God, and
Yeah.
he knew that this is what God was calling him to do. So
Right.
he, in faith, continued to, I mean, God just downloaded everything he needed, you know, the measurements and all, and
Mhm.
what kind of wood to make
Yeah.
it. I mean, just everything.
Yes.
So, and I just always think about Noah as being one of the most men with faith, or
Mhm.
person with faith, that we read about in the Bible, and but just have the faith of Noah, and just yeah, step out and start doing it and continue doing it until he gives you another, you stay the course, you stay the course, and until he might change the course, you know. So he does that sometimes too, but and then you stay that course. So
Right.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what I would encourage you to do, is to just talk to the Lord about it, and ask him to take away all the fears,
Yes.
and to open up that door,
Right.
and then you step out, and then
Yes.
once you do, you just continue doing it,
Yeah.
and stay steadfast and stay the
Yeah.
course.
Yes. Exactly. God will strengthen you along the way. He'll give you strength for
You
each and
will.
every day, each step, each part of this whole path that he
Hmm.
leads you on. He'll give you
Yes.
everything that you need. He'll supply all of your needs for it. And just like you said, Noah, I mean, it took years and years and years to build the ark without any rain. So imagine how he was. He might
I
have done.
know.
I mean, I'm not going to claim that he doubted, but I know I would have doubted if I was spending years and years and years doing something and I never saw any rain. But he
Yeah.
remained doing it, and so sometimes it takes years and years and years to see whatever God, whatever our destiny, or see the promise fulfilled. And
Yeah.
yeah, so it
Yeah.
just takes that faith. And talk about
Yeah.
hearing from the Lord. I mean, he knew, like you said, down to the measurements, down to
Yes.
what wood to use. That takes
Yeah.
faith to think, oh, this isn't just some random thought in my head.
That's
This is
right.
God
That's
speaking to
right.
me.
That's
Wow,
right.
amazing. So great.
And you too have to keep a strong foundation,
Yes.
um, and that is faith in the
Yes.
Lord. Uh,
Hmm.
you have to build your faith not on sand, not, or
Yeah.
build your foundation not on
Right.
sand,
Yeah.
but on your faith, and strong faith in the Lord.
Yes. Yes. Strong faith, and yes, and he will carry you through. That is wonderful advice. Such great wisdom. And so you also have some books, don't you've written books?
I have one. Uh,
Wow.
it, the Lord was good to me. He gave me a one woman show,
Wow.
in a character,
Hmm.
Mitzi Lou Puppernickel. And
Okay.
I've been a storyteller since the early 90s, and had
Oh.
written some stories through the years.
Mhm.
And I think it was about 2014 or something. So it's been a while since my book came out. But Just a Closer Stumble with Thee. And it is through my character's voice. She is a Southern hairdresser, a little
Oh.
tacky.
Yeah.
And So she tells the stories, and some are true, some are not so true,
Mhm.
but all about our not so steady walk with the Lord.
Mhm.
And it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Wow. I will have to get a copy of that. That's amazing.
They're
That's
short
that's
stories, a very easy read, and
yeah.
fun.
Oh,
Very
it sounds fun. It sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds very real.
fun.
Even though some of it's not real, but something that we would actually, believable and all that. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh, well,
I also did a CD,
oh,
uh, Tales
what?
to Crow About, and
Oh,
these are like 7 and 8 years up. And these are stories that I also have written with life lessons. So, so I have
oh,
that as well.
great for
But
kids.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. But
oh,
it's been a while. It's been a while, like I say. But I feel like God is wanting me to come back out a little bit, and do some of these things. So we'll
yeah.
see what He has, what He has.
That is so amazing and so encouraging, for for all of our listeners to just hear your story and know that all throughout the course of your life, you've just been open to be used by God
Mm,
and do whatever He's led you to do, whatever He's calling you to do, and always being excited to do more for the kingdom. And that is so awesome, so encouraging, and such a blessing. Such a blessing to
oh,
hear from you today.
yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you are a blessing as well. And
Oh,
so, yeah, I look forward for you. Your podcast, a video with me will be coming out shortly. So, looking
yeah.
forward to
Yes, be on the lookout for that, guys. It's coming out. I think it's next week, right? Is it next week or the week
yep,
after?
next
Next,
Tuesday.
next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday morning,
I'm
11 a.m.
excited.
Eastern Time. Facebook and
Yes,
YouTube.
yes. I can't wait. I'll be sharing it too. So, yeah, well, thank
Good.
you so much, Janet, for being here. It's been
You're
such an honor
welcome.
and blessing to have you here.
Uh,
I absolutely loved it, and I hope that you'll come back.
oh, I will. I will. Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you. Thank you. It's been a blessing to me as well.
Oh, such a blessing, such a blessing. And you're very welcome. And thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day and God bless you all. Bye bye.